Hey, quick video, guys, on helping your coach to coach fellow students and on pad holding. This is my lovely assistant, Melissa, my fiance. This is her first proper lesson in JKD. She's helped me with some of the women's self-defense stuff, but it's never really had a lesson in JKD. So I'm going to give her a pretty amended version of what the stance is like and what the straight lead is like. As usual, I'm not going to get into footwork and stuff with this first little punching lesson. I usually just try to teach them how to rotate into this punch and don't worry about footwork too much. And I usually, honestly, give them a pretty amended version of the stance and everything else the first time anyway, because I like to get people punching stuff to get them interested. You'll notice I'm holding the right hand pad for her right hand to hit. Your hands are naturally going to want to curl inward toward your own sternum. Because of that, anytime you can, you want to hold the right hand for the right hand and the left hand for the left hand, because the angle's just going to work out better. So as you can see, I'm giving her further pointers here, as many as I can. If she continues to improve, I'm going to continue to give pointers and add to what I have established here. But at some point, she's going to get as good as she can, and this is a really important point. Don't overwhelm a student with so many things. You're not going to get them to get that thing perfect the first time. Chances are you're not throwing it perfect. I'm certainly not. So at some point, you've got to just let them throw a whole bunch. And, you know, some people talk about how that builds up bad muscle memory and stuff like that. You know, if you let them do it for months and months, yeah, it will. But for one lesson, let's just leave them alone and let them punch and let them build some confidence. You'll notice here she's starting to throw the left hand, so I'm holding the left hand pad. I'm giving her one target. I'm not holding my hands up on either side of my head and just letting her twist her body and hit two different targets. I'm giving her two different angles. That's a very, very important thing for everybody to try to do. I see that mistake being made a lot. Guys just kind of standing static, standing still, and giving two targets there for their partner to have to twist in and punch with that rear hand. Try not to do that. It's two different angles, not two different targets. So at some point here, I get to where I've decided she's had about enough instruction. She's getting about as good as she's going to get with this particular session, and we call it a day. Here I'm trying to get her to pull that shoulder back a little quicker, reach out and try to touch it like this. I like to do that a little bit to get her to recover back to her stance a little bit. So I've decided she's improved about as much as she's going to improve with this little video. We give a little high five, and you're going to notice that she's got a little boo-boo here. Now, I don't recommend handling boo-boos in this particular fashion with just any student, so be really choosy on how you do this. That's enough of that nonsense. Let's fast forward to a lesson the other day at Showdown MMA where Sifu Hitchcock and I are instructors. Blue shirt here is a self-defense student of mine, so she's getting a very Cliff Notes version of a rear straight punch here. We're just going to teach her some basic punches, basic knees and elbows, and some grappling. And no sense in getting into the minutia of JKD and stuff with a student who's only going to train for 6 weeks. We're going to go over here to a couple of students at the school here. As you can see, white shirt is holding the pad with the right hand and black shirt is punching with the left hand. And the problem we're having here is the feet, the toenails. It's all very scary. If you can help it, don't do this, guys.